I'm so happy to have Miss Kimberly.
I'm glad to be here.
And she's going to talk about recruiting for YCCS, as well as they're having a hip-hop situation this evening. And we're going to get to that. And, you know, with our children, this young lady has been very instrumental in not only mentoring, but recruiting as well. And she's also a principal as well as a resource coordinator. I mean, she does it all, a jack of all trades. And you'll be able to talk to her in just 1 second, because I always like to start off with the book of the week. It's Helping School Children Cope with Anger, and it's the second edition. And what they really talk about is students who have emotional and behavioral disturbances, especially evident in the form of anger and aggressive behavior. And we see that all the time. We see that all the time with our kids. And you know, it's a thing called hurt people. They leave home angry. By the time they get to school, they go from being the victim to the villain. That you know, the villain with the instructors, the villain with their peers, the villain with the security officers. And we need to be aware of that. And parent, you need to be aware of it also. Because if your child has a problem, you need to do some investigations in terms of how to solve it. And you don't have to be Einstein to do that. But what I want to do, they also talk about, they say that 6 to 16% of males and 2 to 9% of females are at high risk of academic failure, poor peer relationships, dropping out of school, and later psychiatric disturbances with law enforcement. We see that all the time. And you as a parent, I know you see it, but if you turn a blind eye to it, look here. Your irresponsibility becomes our responsibility. I'm talking about people that care, mentors, taxpayers, the whole bit. So we need to do our job. If you have a child, you need to take care of that child. You know? That's your responsibility. And by me saying that, I hope someone doesn't get offended, because what you do privately manifests itself publicly. So if your child hasn't been home trained in the house, so when they come out, we now know. But we work with that. But we also need your assistance. But now, I'm not going to hold this conversation that long, because Kimberly has something to say. And she knows. So go ahead.
Well,
it's all yours.
First of all, I'd like to say that we are at Youth Connection Charter School. We support parents, and we have a lot of, I think the last time I was here, we talked about the parental involvement and the parental programs that are at our schools. And so we definitely support parents, and in so doing, we have different classes, meetings, etc., so parents can get involved. We welcome parents to be partners in their children's education, because you know, we realize we don't have all the answers.
Right.
We are a community, and our campuses are in the communities where they're serving communities, and that is something that we're very proud of, because we are not just a school, we're a school that partners with community-based organizations that develop campuses that create community and have a very close, if you would talk to our students, and I know you have talked to some of our students, they are always going to talk about how much they feel like this is like a family.
Oh, yes.
Small schools that care about them and are pushing them and motivating them, and we lock arm in arm with our parents, and I think that's really important.
Can I ask a question here?
Yes.
How many campuses do you have?
We have 19.
19?
Yes.
Are they spread out all over the city or what?
They are. We have campuses as far north as Truman Middle College, which is in the Truman Chicago City College campus. As far south as Olive Harvey Middle College, which is in the Olive Harvey Chicago City College campus. So from there all the way south, we have 19 campuses on the west side, south side, and north side of Chicago.
You know, when you say alternative schools, that has it's like stigmatized. Can you elaborate on that? Because that was the old feeling. What's the new feeling about that?
Well,
What's the new concept?
we are a charter school, and we started out as a dropout center. I would say as a solution to Chicago's dropouts situation, which at the time in 1997, Chicago had 50% dropouts, and so since then we are responsible in working with Chicago Public Schools and being authorized by Chicago Public Schools to reduce the dropout rate. And if you have been paying attention, then you know that Chicago's dropout rate has decreased. And
Yes.
we are proud to say that we are part of that solution and the impact that it's had on the city of Chicago. And so what we do is we have created a model that works for our students. And we're not just interested in our students academically, but we're interested in them developing socially, emotionally, and making sure that they're ready for college. And so we do a lot to work with our students to ensure that they are learning the basics, and then once they're ready, to get them college ready, or even have college experiences while they're on our campus.
So when we talk about benchmark, we're talking about math, science, reading,
Yes.
English. So they're proficient in that?
Well, yes, we are. We have the state standards of the
Yes,
Common
yes,
Core,
yes.
and we follow those. We have developed competencies from those, and we are in the process of becoming fully competency based. And what
Okay.
does that mean?
Well, I would think it's evidence-based also in terms of what they're learning and then translating what they learn into the behavior, into academically being successful.
Excellent.
And by the way, I'm did a little research. Your graduation rate is pretty high, isn't
It is. Our graduation rate is over 90%.
it? Wow.
Our post-secondary rate of students going on to college or military or jobs is over 80%. It's about 86%. So we're very proud of that. And one of those, going back to the competency-based, we have developed a system where our students who may come in and have learned from another campus, because our students are 16 to 21 years of age. And so coming into a school at the age of 16, you've had some experiences
Right.
either in school, at home,
Yeah, right.
or in other situations that can transfer. And as long as they're able to demonstrate this at high levels, that they have mastered these particular competencies, then we are allowing them to move along. There are certain things that they need to know and be able to do based on the competencies that we've identified in alignment with the Common Core standards. And
So
if
they
they
bridge
can
it?
demonstrate that through an assessment, then
So they bridge from that to college?
Yes, sir.
'Cause I always call it bridging, but
that's exactly it. We're bridging them from high school
so
into
they're
college.
still in high school, but they also dealing with college courses. Is that
Yes.
true?
It's based on the student's competency. So if a student comes in and he or she is highly efficient and have mastered the specific skills, and they're able to pass the COMPASS exam, the COMPASS exam is the
Please
test.
explain that.
The test that Chicago City Colleges uses to measure a student's readiness for college courses. And so if they're able to pass the course, then they take college courses either on their campus, because some of our teachers are certified or they are adjunct professors with the Chicago City Colleges, and we have dual credit courses inside our high schools. And they also take dual enrollment, where they are enrolled at Chicago City Colleges and
See?
take courses there on site at the college.
You can't beat that. But let me ask a question. How is parent participation?
That's a good question. And I think we've talked about this a little before,
Right.
but it's always appropriate. Every high school, once a student gets into high school, you'll see a decrease, and that's the numbers are showing, the statistics are showing that parental participation is inversely related to age. So as a student
okay.
ages, parents are less and less involved. However, again, we welcome our parents to be involved. I wouldn't say we have parents involved in shooting range, but every campus has some type of program. And our Department of Student and School Support Services offers funding and supports for campuses to be able to have those programs and services. Which can include courses for certification, meetings like PTA meetings, parent.
PTA.
That's old.
50 years ago.
Yeah, that's old school, right?
Right.
But there are parents that are involved in having meetings, and also teaching parents about the basic things so that they'll know and be able to communicate with the teachers and understand their student scores, understand their grades, understand the grading systems. And so we want to make sure that we're on one accord with our parents.
Another issue, a lot of our families might not have the adequate funds.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a waiver fee, a waiver system that can, allow the children to come into school without taking care of the mandatory fees?
Well, that's a good question. Each of our campuses, in some cases, may have fees for specific student activities.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think that is something that if you go to the campus and talk directly to the principal or whomever he or she designates, that's something that you can communicate with them. However, we welcome students not to be coming in just worried about fees.
Right.
The most important thing is that you're in school, and if you're 16 to 21 and are not in school, or you have a child or you know someone, a youth between the ages of 16 to 21 who needs to earn their high school diploma, you can reach us at 312-328-0799. And I'll say the number again for you. It's 312-328-0799. We also have a website where you can apply directly online at applytoyccs.com. That's applytoyccs.com. And if you call that number, you can talk to our recruiter, who is
that like the hotline or something?
The hotline, yeah, that's the
the equivalent to the hotline, right?
Yes, that's our recruitment hotline, and Mr. Moore is our recruiter. But if you call in, and we will definitely take care of you and enroll you in one of our 19 campuses. And I'm sure that there's one campus that will fulfill your needs, either because of where it's located, because we have campuses again all over the city, or because of the programs that they have. We have programs that include urban agriculture, STEM research, computer
STEM
technology.
research.
We have campuses that have studios where students are learning industry standard techniques for video and audio recording and editing. And there are programs that I think I've been very impressed with the work that our students do at these schools.
What about Malcolm X and the allied sciences over there? You all dealing with them?
Well, we do have campuses that deal with them, specifically ASA, which is one of our campuses on the west side, located in, it's located in East Garfield neighborhood on Madison, and they have a partnership with Malcolm X and have an allied health program.
To our audience, this is very crucial. We need to really start assessing our children in terms of education. You have too many of them running around the streets with their pants hanging off the behind, not learning anything, and then realizing with the University of Hard Knocks, which I call the streets, it's only two ways you're going to go. Either to the morgue or to the penitentiary. And I'm talking about the street. Listen, streets does not have summer vacation. Look here, you can't stop and say, look here, I want to get off this train. Once you're involved, you're totally involved. It's time to get your children involved in the educational process. Really. Look what's happening. Look at our race. Call, question or comment, go ahead.
Yeah, Yes, a quick comment, and you are totally right. I mean, our children don't want to do anything. They're just laying around. Look like the parents are letting them just lay around and do what they want to do. I commend this woman that's trying to help. You know, you could build everything, but you might not get everybody to come in. That's all right. Save the ones that you do get in. The ones that don't, they're going to learn down the road. Sooner or later, everything's going to level the field
That's
out.
true. That's true.
But the thing is, I used to always say, I would love to see Brookfield Zoo have a class. Zoology. I mean, my God, the other people, they have so many different things, horticulture, every possibly thing that you could think of that maybe could help you down the road, give you an opportunity to choose something besides just like you said, having your pants down low, walking around here begging or shooting or don't even know your name, halfway dead. Well, again, we need to do more to try to just advance our children. Look at these schools now. You got high schools don't even have full capacity, don't even have capacity. You got grammar schools. Now that's where the shame is at, where it's not even full capacity. Where are the children? Don't tell me there ain't no kids out here, because every time you look around, you see children. Hell, you see children 12 or 1 o'clock at night walking the streets. So there are children here. But again, I don't even care about what the others might sound cruel, but do what you're doing, sweetheart. Worry about the ones you got in. Maybe the ones that don't want to come in might see something, and they might bring someone in. So just keep on doing what you're doing. You don't care what people say. And listen, good show. My man, you always have a wonderful show. It's so wonderful to see you up here on Friday nights. So let me get out there so I can hear your response. And thanks for taking the call.
I want to thank you for your call and also for your support. And Miss Hobson.
Yes.
How was attendance? The first few days coming in.
That's a good question.
Is it okay?
Yes. Well, may I make a comment on what the caller said first? Thank you so much for your encouragement. I think that is so important. And one of the things I want to say is that we do not have any basic criteria in terms of students registering in our school. The only criteria is that a student or a youth must be 16 to 21 years of age and living in the city of Chicago. And whether their pants are down or up, we want to take the opportunity to open our doors and welcome this young person, I should say, and let them explore the possibilities of their future. And we have had great success at that at Youth Connection Charter School, taking a student or a young person where they are and letting them explore the possibilities, learning along the way, and developing their own sense of autonomy and becoming very successful and very competent young people. And so we're very proud of what our students are becoming. And we don't want anybody to consider that they could not be a part of Youth Connection Charter School just because they don't look a certain way. We welcome every youth, 16 to 21, and we start you where you are and allow you to grow from there.
Very nice comment. Caller, question or comment? You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Everything is right what you're saying. But if you don't have a mother or a father who care about sending you to school, you could be the smartest person in the world. And you're not going to learn anything. The only thing you're going to learn is how to call people out their names. You're going to be out there knowing how to take apart a gun. But you won't know how much 1-on-1 is, but you know how much a gram is. That's what's wrong with this country. The parents don't get involved anymore. I remember when I was growing up, man, my dad look at me. Ooh, I'm gone. I'm doing everything. If he had to raise his voice, I'm getting punished. And not hit. I wish it was. Punished 2-3 days, staying in the house. And everybody running around except you. But great show. But you got to get these parents. If you're not involved, nothing's going to happen. Thank you.
Thank you for your call.
And may I comment on that?
Go ahead. You got another
I
comment.
think it's so important too that we understand that if a child can make up their mind that they're going to do A or B, they can also make a decision to do X, Y, and Z. And so, what do I mean by that? I mean that parents are important, and I don't ever want, as a mother, and I respect parents, and I respect, as a daughter, I respect my parents. So we know and realize that parenting is very important, but we can't neglect the fact that once someone makes up their mind and they want to accomplish something, we have the support systems in our school that includes mentoring, that includes tutoring, that includes all of the type of supports to help that student overcome the barriers so they'll be successful in school.
Thank you for that. Caller, question or comment? You're on the air. Go ahead.
I appreciate your show. I appreciate your guest tonight. And my comment is, I want to know how come there aren't that many black men in these schools teaching these children? I mean, I know women are strong. I was raised by a strong mother and a good father. I want to know how come we don't have that many more black men teaching these young boys how to be young men. I mean, because a woman can only do so much. They have to have a firm hand. They have to have that. I mean, therefore you would be able to tell somebody to pull his hands up, that you can't talk like this, that you got to actually can't listen to the music while the teacher is trying to talk. You got to have a man in that classroom, too. Women can do a lot. They can do an awful lot.
Well, I agree. I agree. We got a woman right here. By the way, any comment to that?
Well, I don't know the statistics, but we do definitely have men in our schools, and we also have different programs that offer men. One of the things that I love about our schools is not only do we have the courses for students to get the credits that they need and great teachers to teach them who are certified and highly qualified to teach. But we also have the other glitz and glamour of a public school system, which include graduations, proms.
You got a basketball team?
And we have a basketball team, and we have programs, after school programs, that work with students that have these manhood and womanhood circles.
I got one more call.
Yes.
Call and make it quick, but go ahead. You're on the air because we're getting ready to.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, I'll make this quick. I think it's good that there are the right to passages type programs for the youngsters, boys and girls, to become young men and women. But I think also in the culture there's always that, I don't want to say how you say it, drawback of being consumers more so than producers. You know?
Okay,
And
that's W.E.B. Du Bois.
Every kind of culture that comes along, including a lot of Hollywood and Hollywood type stuff. You know, I guess it's good that the rites of passage programs teach the youngsters how to walk like this, talk like that, and act like this, you know. But if they keep latching back on to every time a new fad comes along, whether it's a cell phone or whatever technology, you know, their attention is distracted, and then they just kind of fall back into it's just like with crack and anything else that gets thrown out there. They just cling to it, opposed to stand on the straight and narrow, you know? That's my comment.
Thank you, sir. Now, we run out of time. Ms. Hobson, can you elaborate on what's happening today? You have an event?
Yes, we are. We're having an event at the 1301 at Medill Park, 1301 West 14th Street. It is Adams Medill Park, and it's the Hip Hop Summerfest. YCCS is the education partner. We're excited because we're in the community, talking to the community, and we're there to register students. So if you have a youth, or if you are a youth and you would like to register for school, please come out and check out our booth. We'd love to talk with you. We have several students representing their campuses today, and 11 of our campuses are represented as well.
Can you give that address again?
Yes, the address is 1301 West 14th Street.
And what's some of the players going to be on there today? I heard you're going to have some rappers or something like that.
Oh, it's today. Old school hip hop tomorrow, but today we have local talent, and I wish I knew all the names. But if you go to hiphopsummerfest.com, you'll find out more about the lineup.
And
That's
it's going for how many days?
hiphopsummerfest.com.
How many days is it going?
Today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
So you
all
have
weekend.
opportunity today, tomorrow, and Sunday to come out to where?
To Medill Park, Adams Medill Park at 15th and Laughlin.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And by the way, if you feel as though you run out of rope, tie a knot and hang on. Everything's going to be okay. See you next week.